Welcome to Yoga and Wellness with Rachel. Today's practice is a nice grounding, earthy flow. So we'll be low to the earth. You may want to have a blanket to elevate your hips if you choose. And of course, you're welcome to have a block or two nearby. So go ahead and get yourself settled. And when you're ready, I will see you right here. All right, welcome to your practice today. I'll invite you to begin by finding a nice, comfortable seated posture. You're welcome to elevate those hips with a blanket or a block. Really just take your time to fidget, to get cozy. Once you're settled, you might rest the hands on the thighs. Just inhale to invite length up through the spine, lift the shoulders up and back and around. Deep breath in and out. And just take a moment here to arrive, so you might let those eyes soften or close. Begin to turn your awareness inward as you tune into the rhythm of the body's breath. Perhaps consciously choosing to deepen the breath. Perhaps following me as we come into this 4-count breath. So we'll breathe in for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Out for 4, 3, 2, and 1. In for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Out for 4, 3, 2, and 1. One more time. In for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Out for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Deep breath in. Exhale with a sigh. One more time. Deep breath in. Exhale with a sigh. Inviting perhaps an intention in today's practice to really invite our awareness to flow with our body's breath. Connecting breath to movement, moving and breathing with intention, with synchronicity. Maybe looping the shoulders forward and up, back and around just a couple of times. And change directions, back and up, forward and down. Settling into the space of stillness. You're welcome to flutter the eyes open if they're closed, or you can stay right where you are. I invite you to just come into a nice yoga swirl here, taking the torso and the shoulders and the heart in a circular motion. You're welcome to bring as much or as little movement into this flow as feels good for you. The next time that we come forward, we'll mindfully pause and just gently change directions, moving the other way. One more time, just like that, pausing as we come back to the front. And then inhaling to rise. We'll make our way into a nice twist, but first we'll extend that right leg out to the side. So the left foot is nestled in the inside of that right leg. I'll invite you to take a nice deep breath in, turn open towards that left leg, and then release the left hand behind you as the right hand settles across the left leg. A nice twist here. Inhale to invite length into the spine. Exhale to invite the shoulders to soften away from the ears. One more deep breath in. Exhale to release. And mindfully, gently engage the core. Release the fingertips back up to center as we face center. Turn to face that right leg and then gently melt forward. So the hands might rest on the leg, they might rest on the earth, they might reach for your foot. And depending on your body, you might choose to keep a long, flat back, or you might choose to round and fold forward. Wherever you find yourself, just find a few nice deep breaths right here. And you can choose to stay right where you are if that feels good. If you'd like to add on, you can take the right hand to the inside of the right leg, left hand to the hip as you open the heart towards the sky. You could stay right here, or you could zipper that left arm up past the left ear as you side bend over that right leg. Opening the heart, finding a gaze that feels good, and being mindful of the neck. Keep the neck nice and long and relaxed. Beautiful. Ever so mindfully engage the core. Draw that left hand back and around towards that left hip. As you turn your belly back through center towards that right leg, extend that left leg back out long and melt down over the leg, inviting length into the spine and just breathing. Beautiful. Inhale to roll all the way up. Reach those fingertips to the sky as you face center. Lower the hands down to the earth. And we'll set up for the other side. So gently drawing that right foot in, extending that left foot out, taking your time to recenter. You're welcome to place a folded blanket under that knee for support if you need to. And as you're ready, we're going to inhale to reach for the sky. Turn the torso towards the right as you release the right hand behind you, left hand across that right knee. And again, breathe length through the spine as you turn to look over that right shoulder. Always honoring our own body's needs. Just gently exploring the edge of our twist in this space. Following the breath with the mind's eye. One more deep breath in. Exhale to release, mindfully unwind as you reach for the sky, face center, and then turn towards that left leg and melt forward. Again, your choice with a long flat back. You won't go as far. Or round and fold, perhaps inviting chin to chest. Honor any differences from one side of the body to the other. And just follow the breath. As we breathe in, we have this nice gentle invitation to find length in the spine. And as we breathe out, we have this invitation to soften, to settle, to release tension. Good, you can stay right here if you would like, or you can take that left hand to the inside of the left leg, right hand to the hip as you open the heart, and zipper that right arm up past that right ear. Side bend over that left leg, open the heart, find a gaze that feels good. Just breathing. And when you're ready, float the right hand back and around towards that right hip. Turn the belly back towards that left leg. Extend that right arm back out long wherever it lands. Breathe in to lengthen. Breathe out to soften. Good, belly button in, roll all the way back up, reaching to the sky. Lower those hands down beside the hips. And we'll take the feet and bend the knees. Hands to the earth. You might lean back slightly and just let those knees gently windshield wiper side to side. Good, finding stillness after we've evened it out. And we'll come across those knees, finding our way into a child's pose. Set any props you may have off to the side unless you'd like to pad under the knees. As the big toes meet behind us, you might choose to keep the knees in close, or you might take the knees wide and send the hips back towards the heels as you walk the arms out long in front of you, or let the hands rest by the hips or even at the low back. Remember, you can always pad under the head with a blanket or with your block. Connect again to the rhythm of the body's breaths. Breathe all the way into the low belly. Exhale out through your mouth with a sigh. One more time, just like that. And release. Inhale as we come up to all fours, tabletop, knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. Remembering that you can come up onto your fists if the wrists are sensitive. And from here, I'll invite you to extend that right leg out behind you. You might extend that left arm out in front of you. Thumb points up. Flex that back foot. And you can stay right here. You can come out to the diagonal. Breathing. Feel the sensation in the body. Exhale back to center. 2 more times. Inhale to open. Exhale to center. Inhale to open. Exhale to center. And from here, bend that back leg. Reach around if you can towards the pants or the foot or the ankle. You might hold on to something, maybe you don't. And if you catch the foot or the pants, you might press away, opening up through that left shoulder girdle. Nice deep breaths in and steady breaths out. Inhale to extend. Exhale to lower. And find a couple rounds of your cat-cow here to recenter, chin to chest, belly button in as we round. And then inhale as the heart shines forward, tailbone and gaze lift. A couple more rounds just like that, connecting breath to movement. After your inhale, we'll settle back in that nice neutral tabletop posture. Neck is long, gaze is down. You might extend that left leg back behind you. You might extend that right arm out in front of you. Flex the foot, right thumb points up. And stay here if you'd like, or inhale to open to the diagonal. And exhale back to center. 2 more times, just like that. And last one. Bending that back knee, option to reach back towards the foot or the pants. Pressing the hand away, opening up through that right shoulder girdle. Continuing to press the earth away with that left hand. And check in with your breath. Inhale to extend. Exhale to lower back to that tabletop posture. And from here, I'll invite you to keep those hips stacked right over the knees and walk the hands forward, dropping the heart towards the earth, finding this nice puppy dog pose, feeling the length through the spine. Beautiful. Drop the elbows to the earth, and as you do, come down to the belly. Draw the heart between the upper arms and settle the elbows right under those shoulders. We're in our Sphinx pose now. Palms press into the earth. Tops of the toes, tops of the feet are grounded, rooting down through that pelvic triangle. And it's as if we were pulling the heart forward as we're pulling the mat back with our hands and our elbows. Lifting the heart, finding that space. Keep the neck long and relaxed. Just a couple breaths right here. Good. As you're ready, release the hands under the shoulders, drop the head to the earth, and we'll press up into a nice low cobra, lifting the heart and the head, shoulders melt away from the ears. Exhale to lower as you shift those hips back, find your child's pose. A couple deep breaths right here. And from here we'll come into a fun little flow. So we'll make our way from child's pose up to all fours, dropping the belly as we find our cow pose. And round through cat, pressing back into child's pose. You might keep the legs side by side or keep the knees and legs in child's pose legs. Inhale forward, find that cow, drop the belly, open the heart. Exhale, round chin to chest, belly button in, hips towards the heels. And 3 more times just like that. Connecting breath to movement. And the last one just like that. We'll change things up a little bit this time, so as you're ready, make your way through tabletop into that cow pose. Tuck the toes, round through cat, and shift the hips back, downward facing dog. Beautiful, just a few deep breaths here in your downward facing dog. And then as you're ready, float the right heel to the sky, 3-legged dog. And we'll mindfully guide that right foot to the earth between the hands as we soften that left knee down to the mat. Connect to the earth through that left hand. And you might peel the right arm up to the sky. You might wiggle those fingers. You might find some wrist circles. Exhale as we mindfully lower. If you have those blocks, you might choose to use them now as you send the hips back. You might lift the toes. You might draw the toes back towards the knee. Just be mindful here not to overdo it. A nice opening through the back of that front thigh. Release the foot to the earth, soften into your lunge, and then float the fingertips up to the sky. You might even come into a low back bend. Open those elbows wide, open the heart, open the chest. Inhale to reach for the sky. Float those hands back down. Set your blocks off to the side. Step back to your tabletop posture. And we'll shift those hips back through child's pose. Connect breath to movement as we inhale through cow pose. Tuck those toes around through cat. Spread and press through the hands. Downward facing dog. Couple of deep breaths right here. And as you're ready, root down through the right foot. Float the left heel to the sky. Downward facing dog. We'll guide that left foot to the earth between the hands. Soften that right knee down. And as you plant the right hand, peel the left fingertips to the sky as you open your heart. Find a gaze that feels good. And you're welcome to wiggle those fingers, maybe add some wrist circles here. When you're ready, float the hand back down, torso faces the earth. Again, you're welcome to use blocks here as you square off through those hips, sending the hips back. And straighten that front leg as much or as little as feels good for you. You might keep a long, flat back, or you might have a gentle roundness in the spine, depending on your body. And just breathe. Inhale as we release that foot to the earth and reach the fingertips to the sky. You're welcome to add a low back bend. You're welcome to take those elbows wide. Inhale to reach to the sky. Mindfully lower the hands down as they come to the earth. And we'll send that left knee back beside the right, shifting the hips back, downward, child's pose. My knees are close together this time, and I've got my hands back by my heels, but your choice, do what feels good for you. You could rock your head gently side to side. Good. When you're ready, take those hands to the earth and gently press up to a nice kneeling posture. So you're welcome to pad underneath those knees with a blanket if you would like to. A couple breaths here. You can also place a block underneath the hips. We won't be seated here long, but it's a nice way to kind of just stretch, release, breathe. When you're ready, find your way on the one side of the hips or the other, and we'll take the feet to the earth so the knees are nice and bent. Hands come behind the thighs as we find our seated cat-cow here. Inhale to lift the heart and the chest, and then exhale to round. 2 more times. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. And on this last one, we'll release all the way to the earth. So inhale to lift. And then nice and slow and controlled. You can either hold onto the legs or release the hands. Come all the way down to the ground. Hug those knees into your chest. Give them a gentle rock side to side. And then keep that right knee in close as you extend that left leg long on the earth. Release that right knee to about 90 degrees. And then use the hands to help guide it across your body to the left. A nice gentle twist. You could take the right arm out into a T. You could look out to the right or just continue to look up. Just breathe here, releasing any active control of the breath, but allowing the mind to continue to follow the breath. And inhale as you come back to center. Hug those knees back in towards the chest. Maybe find a little side to side motion. And when you're ready, extend that right leg out long. Left knee to about 90 degrees. And again, we'll use the hands to guide the leg across the body to the right. Extending that left arm out to the side and choosing whatever gaze feels good for you. Feel that breath as it moves through the body, perhaps sending our awareness to that left side of the rib cage. Expansion and contraction with the movement of the breath. Good. Make our way back to center. Hug those knees back in. And when you're ready, go ahead and set the feet down on the earth. Find your way into your Shavasana, perhaps extending those legs out long and wide. Arms rest by the sides with the palms facing up in a gesture of receiving. The eyes can soften or close. Connecting to the rhythm of the body's breath. Deep breath in. Exhale out the mouth, and as you exhale, soften even more deeply, melting into the earth behind you. Feel as if somebody actually had their hands on your shoulders, pressing them down into the ground, feeling yourself supported, connected, grounded. Feel the rootedness of the hips as they settle towards the earth. The length of the legs rooted, heels grounded. Another deep breath in. Gently let that go. And of course, you are welcome to stay here as long as feels good for you. As always, I thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. The light that is within me honors and recognizes the lights in each of you. Namaste.